Hello everyone, here we are on the third lesson of chapter 5, and here we see the connection between arithmetic and algebra, where we're talking about the word ratio, rate, and proportion, and this is very similar to the rate of change or slope we saw in the last lesson. Now the word ratio is a comparison of two similar quantities, boys to girls, votes for, votes against. Now here's an example of a rate. You're comparing two different quantities, the miles per gallon, the wage per hour, and a proportion is a comparison between two rates or two ratios, as you could see. And so these three words have a very, very big impact in this particular section. The word rate, ratio, and proportion. Which one is which? If we're comparing like quantities, we'll definitely call this one a ratio. This one, we're comparing very different quantities, computers and students, and so this is going to be called a rate. And when we compare two fractions, two ratios, or two rates, we call this a proportion. So here we begin by reducing these rates or ratios, and it's going back to arithmetic fractions. We reduce to lowest terms. In this case, I can do 4 times 3, 4 times 5. I cross out the 4s, and I could see 3 tickets to 5 customers. Here I can reduce by 4. You get 4 times 30 on the top, 4 times 1 on the bottom, and you can see that you get 30 miles to 1 gallon. If we move up here, we're looking at a comparison. It says if Clara buys 9 movie tickets for $49.50, I'm going to write 9 tickets, $49.50. Then she can buy blank with $66. So I'm going to write X tickets out of $66. So now you have a proportion. And to solve a proportion, you are going to cross multiply. This way becomes 9 times 66, moving this way. Moving the other way is 49.50 times X. Well, if you multiply these two numbers and divide by that, you're going to get about approximately 12 tickets. Once again, you multiply those two, you're going to get 54, carry the 5, 54 again, 594 divided by 49.50, and I'm running this off to about 600 by 50 just to get a good feel of where I'm supposed to be, and you're going to see it's going to be around 12 tickets, approximately. Now, in this one, we're talking about making a proportion with currencies. We see 190 pesos to $20. I'm going to write 190 pesos, $20. So over here, I have to write pesos up here, dollars down below. We have to keep the order that we started. Now this one has $1 here, as you could see. $1. Then blank pesos will trade for $1. This is what we don't know. Cross multiply. 1 times 190 goes that way. So 190 equals to 20 times X. And you are going to divide the two, and you get 190 divided by 20. And you can cross out the 9s. And you can see you're going to get about 9.5 pesos. It's going to be the trade rate for uh, for the dollars to pesos. All right. Now, let's move on to the next one. It says, if Monique can travel 156 miles on 6.5 gallons, like it says there, then it can travel blank miles. This is, I don't know. I'll write a question mark here with 11 gallons. And again, you're going to cross multiply. 156 times 11 going that way. 6.5 times x, if you like, going the other way. Now this, when I multiply, I get 1,716 equals 6.5x. And so now I have to divide the two. And when I divide them, I'm going to get about 264 miles. I'm leaving the arithmetic up to you to do the division and to confirm that. Now we move on about similar figures. We are looking at a couple of pictures. It does not matter how we do this. We can go 4 to 6, 10 to n. We can do 4 to n, 10, 6 to n. It doesn't matter. It has several possibilities. I'm going to keep it simple. I want to go 4 to 10, comparing this one, 6 to n over here. And all I do is cross multiply. I get 4n going this way. 10 times 6 going the other way is 60. And then all I have to do is divide by 4. And if I do that, I'm going to get 15. So the missing part here is 15. Now we move on to the last example. And here it says the phrase rate of change in a problem is the same as slope. And the answer is yes, this is true. We talked about that in lesson 5.2. All right, everybody. So we can see the connection between arithmetic and algebra in this exercise by comparing two quantities, ratio, rate, and proportion, and figuring out a missing part.